LGBTQ is an acronym that stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer. These are a set of people who do not identify with the sex they are assigned to at birth. Come with me as I tell you how the LGBTQ community started and what they stand for. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and turn on your notification. The L in LGBTQ stands for lesbian, which means when a woman is exclusively attracted to a fellow woman. And the G stands for gay, and they are described as persons, specifically men, who are attracted to their fellow men. And the B stands for bisexual, and this set of persons are attracted to both men and women. The T, which stands for transgender, is a term that describes a person whose gender identity is different from the sex they are assigned to at birth. And finally, the Q, which stands for queer, is an umbrella term to describe sexual orientation or gender identity that does not conform to dominant societal norms. In June 1969, there was a riot at an inn in New York City. The inn is called the Stonewall Inn, located in Greenwich Village. It is where homeless youths, lesbians, gays, transgender, and queers were residing. This riot is called the Stonewall riot, and it is regarded as the catalyst for the modern-day LGBTQ rights movement. At the time, homosexuality was illegal in most states, and LGBTQ individuals faced widespread discrimination, harassment, and violence from law enforcement and society at large. Police raids on establishments frequented by LGBTQ people. It was a common occurrence, often resulting in arrests, harassment, and public humiliation. In the early hours of June 28, 1969, the New York City Police Department raided the Stonewall Inn. However, this time, the patrons of the bar, fed up with ongoing harassment and mistreatment, resisted arrest and fought back against the police. The raid sparked spontaneous protests and clashes with law enforcement that lasted for several days. The Stonewall riots were a watershed moment for the LGBTQ community, as they galvanized LGBTQ individuals to organize and advocate for their rights. In the days and weeks following the riots, LGBTQ activists, including Marsha P. Johnson, Sylvia Rivera, and others, formed activist groups and began organizing protests, demonstrations, and advocacy campaigns. The following year, in June 1970, the first Pride marches took place in several cities across the United States, commemorating the anniversary of the Stonewall riots and demanding equal rights and liberation for LGBTQ people. These events marked the beginning of the modern LGBTQ rights movement, which has since achieved significant progress in areas such as marriage equality, anti-discrimination laws, and greater societal acceptance and visibility for LGBTQ individuals. The history of LGBTQ individuals in Nigeria is characterized by both cultural diversity and significant challenges. Pre-colonial Nigeria had varying attitudes towards gender and sexuality, with some indigenous cultures recognizing and accepting non-binary gender identities and same-sex relationships. However, with the arrival of the European colonial powers in the 19th century, Nigeria adopted laws criminalizing homosexuality influenced by British colonial legislation. After gaining independence in 1960, Nigeria retained these colonial-era laws criminalizing same-sex relationships. And in some northern states, where Sharia law is practiced, there are even harsher penalties for same-sex conduct, including death by stoning. The LGBTQ community in Nigeria has faced discrimination, stigmatization, and violence, both from society and the authorities. LGBTQ individuals often live in fear of persecution, harassment, and even mob violence, and that has resulted to only a few of them who can withstand the hate coming publicly to identify as a member. Despite these challenges, there have been efforts by activists and advocacy groups to push for greater recognition and protection of LGBTQ rights. Thank you for watching till this minute. Please do well to drop a comment, subscribe to our channel, and turn on your notification.